You know, Perry, I always wondered why the AK-47's magazine curved like that. I always figured it was just for show.
That's right, but if you notice, take a look at these AK-47 rounds and you'll see that they're tapered.
Because of the bullet's shape, this causes the famous curve of the AK-47 magazine.
We have to use a certain number of U.S. parts in the fabrication of this rifle in the U.S. We import some parts from Russia and other parts we have to manufacture here. And one of the parts we chose to manufacture was the two-stage trigger. The two-stage trigger, as you begin to pull it, you'll feel a stop. And that stop lets you know that if you pull a little bit more, it'll fire. The advantage of this is it's extremely safe in that you have to pull the trigger quite a ways to fire. But when you're aiming at a target, you can pull the trigger in part way until you're right exactly where you want to go, and then it's a very short pull to release the round down the barrel and to fire the round. And so typically it's better for target practice and for accuracy. Some people like single-stage triggers better, but for the AK system, this two-stage trigger is definitely an advantage. One of the common misconceptions about the AK-47 is that it is inaccurate. There are many AK-47s out there that are not very accurate, but somehow this factory mullet that makes this Vepr rifle has managed to combine a stiffer receiver, the RPK receiver, with a very good barrel and have a very accurate rifle. These will match the accuracy of any AR-15, any out-of-the-box AR-15, using good ammo, of course, but it's an extremely fine rifle, and they're available. They range in price from somewhere around $500 up to $800 to $1,500, depending on the options purchased on them. It actually has an RPK sight. Let me address the sights. The rear sight on the standard AK is not adjustable for windage. It's only adjustable for elevation changes. And this Vepr has the RPK sight, which is adjustable for windage as well as elevation. And also the front sight is adjustable for elevation. And you can adjust the front sight on an AK for windage, although you need a special tool to do so. So you can zero the rifle when you first get it, and then changes for windage or elevation can be done by the rear sight without special tools.
You know, the rifle looks pretty clean, but I didn't see any place on that rifle where you attach accessories like scopes, lasers, sights, etc. I wonder where those fit.
Accessories for this rifle, unlike the Chinese AK I showed you earlier, has a scope rail which comes on every rifle. This rail allows you to put a scope mount on, which wraps up, I don't have one with me, but wraps up around the top of the gun, and you can have an optical sight or red dot sight or use that. There's also handguard. We have some holes in the bottom of this handguard, and we can bolt on forward grips and white lights and other devices to it. So typically scope mounts, different stock options. This particular one shows a ventilated hand grip and skeletonized rear stock. This is an option that we offer with the Vepr. You can buy it with or without these features. It adds a little more to the cost. The Vepr and the AK are not quite as accessorizable as the AR-15s, but for the price, they are an incredible value and last a lifetime. The Vepr is sold in semi-automatic only to qualified buyers in the U.S.
Now, Alex referred to several different kinds of weapons other than the one that he was demonstrating, one of which was the RPK. The RPK is a heavy-duty version of the AK-47.
That's right, and it's also known as the SAW, which is basically a big machine gun used for support. But that's something we're going to go into detail to on future episodes.
He also talked about the AR-15, and that's basically this, the semi-auto version of the M16. Okay, it's something that private citizens can easily own. We're going to talk about the AR-15 or M16 in the future, but we're also going to compare the two rifles, the AR-15 and the AK-47.
So if you're shooting pixel bullets or the real thing...
Don't miss.
That's not what I was going to say.
Well, you don't want them to miss.
What if they're shooting at me?
Don't miss.